Right, so thank you once again for joining me for lecture 4 and lecture 5 combined. Right, so I will try my best to keep it short. I know I said that in the previous one and it was quite long. Okay, so let's get going. Right, so lecture 4 will focus on innovation, invention, and R&D. Right, so with me, please. Right, so let's quickly define some of these keywords that we will be talking about, starting with innovation, which we all know is a process um, where we try to design or come up with new processes, systems, structures um, to either update an existing product or to create an entirely new product. Right, so that is what we mean by innovation. And invention becomes a way, an act, okay, of bringing new ideas in a way that has never been done before. Okay, so these things don't exist and we come up with them. Okay, so that is an invention, and it might happen during innovation. It might not, but innovation cannot happen during an invention. Okay, so yeah, that's the difference. Right, so similar to change, there are four types of innovation. The first one being incremental, this is progressive. Okay, so for example, with cell phones, okay, smartphones, for example, okay, you cannot create new or completely new smartphones. You just improve on what exists in the market at the moment. So that is incremental innovation. Radical innovation, on the other hand, is invention that innovation that people think is happening in the companies, but it's actually quite rare, um, and only happens once in a while. This is where you create completely new markets. Okay, for example, the invention of the airplane, that was a completely new market. Disruptive innovation is when you apply new business models to existing industries. Okay, so incremental, you're not changing anything really. You're just using existing technologies within an existing market. You're just improving on that product. Um, Radical is when you create a completely new market, completely new product. Disruptive is when you apply new technologies, say business models, for example, into an existing market or an existing industry. For example, Amazon ebooks. Okay, so Amazon existed and sold things. Books existed. Okay, physical books. So Amazon was like, no, you know what? I'm gonna sell these books for you, but I'm gonna make them ebooks so that they're available online. Right. So that was an entirely new business model within and its two existing industries. And then an architectural one would then be having an existing domain expert. Okay, so this company or this person exists within the market, but they choose to then make an impact or use their skills to make an impact in a different market, like Alibaba having apps, right? So creating social media apps um, rather than just selling things online. Okay. So, what are some of the benefits and risks of innovation in sport? Okay, and I've put them out there together so that you can quickly see them. So, some of the benefits of innovation are that it increases in competitiveness for the organization, it increases turnover, and it improves profitability of that company. And some of the risks are that you might fail to attract new customers to support this new venture or this new innovative product that you're selling, and then it's a fail. Okay, so you would have wasted quite a lot of money, and that's a bit of a problem. Right, so let's take a quick look at the innovation process. How does it go? First, you need to come up with an idea. Okay, so you sit, you brainstorm with a group of people, you then come up with an idea and say, oh, yes, I like this. I like this new coffee mug where you can pour your coffee upside down or something. I don't know. And then you evaluate this idea. How good is it? Would people be willing to buy this coffee mug? How's it going to work? How are we going to develop it? And how are we going to manufacture it? How are we going to sell it? How are we going to package it? And then you then test and experiment. So you go into the market, give people your mug to use for a week or a month or whatever, and see if they like it. Would they buy it? And then you then develop this idea, come up with a manufacturer, your budget, and so on, and then implement and optimize. Okay, so each stage is quite important. I've made a note there for you for the overall success of your innovative initiative. Right, so here's some tools that you can use um, during your innovation sessions. Right, there are 4 P's of innovation there: product, process, position, and paradigm, as well as Scamper tools where you substitute, combine, adapt, modify, find a purpose, eliminate, and reverse. There's another one that I wanted you to talk about, and we can talk about it in the group on WhatsApp. Okay, those are called 6 thinking hats. They are color coded hats. It's quite an interesting conversation I think we should have on WhatsApp. Okay, I will perhaps make a prompt for us so that we can go on and talk about those 6 thinking hats there. I think it will be quite um, fun for us to have a conversation about that. So that was a quick short lecture there. Let's look at lecture 5, which is digital transformation in sport. Right, so what is digital transformation? This is a key component in the growth of sport. In this day and age where everything is moving more and more online and less physically, okay, digital broadcasting has become quite important in remaining relevant. Right, so it is there are 4 types of digital transformation that can be seen in sport business. Right, these involve business process, business model, and domain, as well as cultural and organizational. Right, so those are the 4 main types of digital transformation that can be seen within sport industry. Now let's talk about digital technology as a sport coaching tool. How do we use them? What part do they play when it comes to coaching? Do they run around in the field? Do they teach you how to kick a ball? No. Okay, but we use apps, okay, to create a more efficient connection between the coach and the player. That's one example. We also have earpieces, okay, which can aid to collect complex data during play. And all of this helps us to then measure speed, distance, heart rate, level of exertion, to see your strengths, your weaknesses as an athlete, and then the coach then analyzes this and redesigns a better or improvement plan for that athlete. You can also use digital technology for performance analysis. Right, and I've given you some examples there that can be used. We have GPS trackers, for example, to see how far you run in the field. We have heart rate monitors to check for heart attacks so that don't lose any players to that anymore. We have accelerometers to see how fast you're running. We have biometric sensors to check if you are at risk of getting an injury and so on. Right, so we also use digital technology as a sport officiating tool. Now, I know I can spend hours on this because most of us are soccer lovers and we all hate VAR, okay, for similar or the same reasons. But these digital technology officiating tools are how officials manage a performance um, objectively, right? So these help us with decision making. They give us the ability to have playback. They give us the ability to watch the events of the field that happened in the field from different angles. And so these are quite important and they help to improve our experience in the game. Right, so as a management tool, digital technology helps us with analytics and touch of visualization. They can collect an enormous amount of data within a very short amount of time, and we can see everything from a player's performance to team strategies. Okay, so you can literally build a map from the data that is collected with digital technology, and then you can use that to improve your next game plan and so on. We also use digital technology for communication. Nowadays, co-creation has become the thing, right? So more and more sport organizations are turning to social media, and they're using their fans as co-creation partners to to increase the hype, to remain relevant, to communicate um, effectively, to increase that two-way communication between the organization and the fans. So digital technology then plays a big role there, because you use hashtags, you tag people on social media, you target your audience more precisely using digital technology. It's not like mass communication where you just send out a random message and you hope somebody that is interested in your organization sees it. See, when it comes to injury management, okay, we do have those wearable sensors that can be used for all those good medical things there that are important to prevent risk injuries, um, and also to monitor those important parts like your joints, your range of motion, your body temperature, your heart rate, your biomechanics, and so on. Right, so what are some of the ethical issues that we have in the use of digital technology? And I've highlighted the first one, the invasion of privacy. This one is quite important. Okay, most recently there was an argument that they should put microphones on the lapels of the referees during the games so that we can hear what they're saying to the players, we can hear those conversations in the game, or the coaches so that we can hear what they shouted to the players and so on. But then somebody said, well, this could be an invasion of privacy because um, those conversations are not meant for us. There's some taunting there, there's some snarling, there's some cursing. So it could most likely be an invasion of privacy. Some are saying, no, we need to know what they're saying or why they're cursing and so on. But this also detracts from the actual sport because now you don't care what they're playing. You just want to hear who's going to curse the most or who's going to say bad word or whatever. So these are ongoing arguments within digital technologies ethics and how it will affect sport. Right. So another thing is the immoral collection of the use of personal information and the use of personal information. Sorry. For example, we've had some reports of some celebrity athletes whose families' pictures were taken illegally during the game and then posted online, an invasion of a violation of their portrait rights, actually, and some players have been followed to their homes, pictures taken of their personal information, their addresses, their phone numbers, and so on, being released online. That is completely unethical. So, where do we draw the line with digital technology? Where do we say no, we only come this far, and then we stop so that we do not cross to the unethical side of things? I would like to know your thoughts on that because I think that would be an interesting conversation as well. Right, so there we go. We have completed this round of lectures as well. I'm trying to get my stop record button.